Hey, aloha everyone. Michelle Melendez, Blossom Inner Wellness and Stand Together, Hawaii.com. And I wanted to do a video on, can Hawaii have fair elections? We had a 3-hour testimony given to the Election Commissions Board. And oh my gosh, these testimonies will blow your mind around election integrity and election fraud of what's happening over here in the Hawaii Islands. So first, I do want to do a quick shout out to the sponsor of my channel, Ace of Coins, ACEOFCOINS.com. If you have tax issues or want to learn how to eliminate or lower your taxes, buy Bitcoin tax-free. Also license your own biometric data, your face, your image. Go to aceofcoins.com and check them out. And a shout out to the Voice of Kona Radio. Super excited to be on the Voice of Kona Radio, 100.5 FM. And mahalo if you're listening on the islands. So let's get started. And let me show you guys some stuff about what's going down here on the islands. Wait, let me make sure that you guys can hear, because you guys are going to want to hear this. Okay, yes, you can hear. All right, good. So let's start here. This guy's testifying, Election Commission's meeting, 8/27/24, State of Hawaii Office of Election is where this is being held.
The information contained in the petition constitutes the facts that were discovered in the review of information provided by the Office of Elections. As you may know, HRS 11155 requires a certification of the results of an election be based on a comparison and reconciliation of 5 elements. That's the canvass of ballots per Chapter 16, the audit records and resultant overage and unnage report, the manual audit results, the mandatory recount results, and all logs, tally sheets, and other documents generated during the election and in the canvass of the election results. A comparison and reconciliation is the process of verifying the accuracy and consistency of 2 or more sets of records to ensure that the data is complete, accurate, and trustworthy.
So listen to the percentages that were missing a required official observer certification.
Knowing this, how is it possible in Mr. Nago's review of the records used for the certification of the results of the 2022 general election that he ignored the fact that for equipment, 43% of scan, 66% of touch writer, and 78% of print seal certifications were missing required official observer certification?
So that is the percentage that we're missing a required official observer certification. He keeps going. It keeps going.
For ballot accountability, 18% of voted ballot container sealing, 34% of unsealing, 83% of container logs, and 45.7% of all official observer certification logs were missing certification. There is no documentation for Dropbox or postal collection chain of custody in any of these records. For audits, 44% of votes cast reports, 60% of recount documentation, and 100% of manual audit ballot review logs were missing required official observer certification.
100% of manual audit ballot review logs were missing a required official observer certification. 100%, you guys.
The fact that Maui and Hawaii County did not audit both mail and in-person voting for the required 10% number of districts and precincts.
I just want to say that one again as well. Maui and Hawaii County, which is Big Island, did not audit both mail or in-person voting by the required 10%. They didn't even do it.
The fact that more mail-in votes were reported on the final 2022 general election statewide precinct detail report than were reported for any district precinct from the post-election manual audit.
Thank you.
So that's all the time that they're giving him. He had more to say, and I couldn't find his testimony to add that in here, but I do have some more I want to share with you. The next one I want to share with you, this guy, oh my gosh, he shows a video of Mike Hurst, and let me just show you who he is, because he is from Civil Beat. He is the Michael Curtis, sorry, he is the The 9-member commission that advises Hawaii's chief election officer on matters relating to elections has a new leader. Michael Curtis, a member of State of Hawaii Elections Commission, was hired by the commission on Wednesday. This video is of him, and you got to see what this guy, he's quite horrible. How he treats, he's a dictator. He's acting like a dictator in the Hawaii election office. Let's see, 100. And it is, he even tells the guy to shut up. That's the first thing you're going to hear. He tells him to shut up. Couldn't believe it.
6, he disobeys the
Oops, sorry.
Assembly's will and
I went too far. We are going to go here. 100. There we go.
Second video clip of Chair Mike Curtis's actions during the previous election commission meeting on June 19th.
Ralph, shut up. You have a motion on the floor. I'm telling you why this is important. Because right now, why it's important. If you continue interrupting me, I'm going to mute you. Chair, I'd like to add to the discussion. I don't think you need to, Ralph. I'd like to add to the discussion, Chair. It's my right. If we leave it to the chair doesn't follow up on any of this stuff, and it just withers away. The point of order is the chair's discretion, and I get the challenge. I move. You're overruled. The chair's cutting me off. I'd like the floor to respond, please. No, it's within my authority, as you've shown me, that I can exclude your discussion from now on.
You're being out of line and cutting me off, Chair.
Ralph, your point of order, what rule am I not following? Well, number one, you muted my microphone. You didn't give me the floor and allow me to speak. Chair, I'd like to have the floor to finish what I'm saying. No, you don't have the floor. You had the opportunity to read all the course. You muted my microphone, Chair. You muted my microphone. Okay, but you can't take the agenda items off the agenda.
Can I speak in favor, Chair?
Oh, I don't think you need to. Is there anybody against allow him to speak, Chair? No. I'm saying that under my regime, with no other business, I'll adjourn the meeting. We need to vote to adjourn.
Under my regime, everybody. Under my regime.
I think that video speaks for itself, don't you? Seeing as this body follows parliamentary procedure, it's important to note that the following reasons are serious grounds for censure against presiding officers. In general, arrogation or assumption by the presiding officer of dictatorial powers which he harasses, embarrasses, and humiliates members. Or more specifically, 1, he refuses to recognize members entitled to the floor. 2, he refuses to accept and put canonical motions to vote. 3, he refuses to entertain appropriate appeals from his decision. 4, he ignores proper points of order. 5, he disobeys the bylaws and rules of order. 6, he disobeys the Assembly's will and substitutes his own. 7, he denies to members the proper exercise of their constitutional or parliamentary rights. It is clear to me that Mike Curtis.
So that was, this is again the Elections Commission meeting, State of Hawaii. I mean, this was 5 hours long, 5 hours and 35 minutes long. And you should, I'm just going to show you a couple more of these testimonies that are just flabbergasting. It's like, oh my gosh. That man, he's a dictator. That wasn't somebody who works for the people. He was an absolute dictator. So let's go to the next one, which is right here.
This is Jennifer, followed by Adriel Lamb.
And
Jennifer.
she's just going to talk just
Hi,
a little
can you
bit.
hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I want to address the chain of custody and lack of observers in the areas where it really matters. When the ballots are being picked up, there are no official observers with the ballot workers who are picking them up. And so I don't know if there's any kind of chain of custody records that are published anywhere, but I would like to understand if they're being kept. I feel like there needs to be observers there because HRS 1645 defines, oh, sorry, that's a different one. 1642, it needs to have official observers present when any ballots are being touched. And the ballots obviously are being touched. And so at the delivery at the clerk's office, what happens there? We don't know. There's no observers in the signature verification, which is an issue because, again, the ballots are being touched and there needs to be different observers there from different parties and so on. And then when they come into the counting center, it is defined where there are official observers and there's workers, and the observers cannot touch ballots or any paraphernalia of the election. The workers can. So those two items are defined in HRS 11-5 defines the workers. HRS 1645 defines official observers. So the observers are there to observe. They're not allowed to touch ballots, but I believe it is the 11-154, that's the HRS, the Hawaii revised statute, that says there must be official observers there when they're being handled. And I realize there's HRS 11-108 that says official observers must be in the counting center. But in like Maui, there are two different floors on a building where the signature verification is located and where the counting is happening. So there needs to be observers there, and there is not. So we have no idea what happens between someone dropping their ballot off and it coming into the counting center room where they unenvelope them and take them out of the envelopes and do the whole process for getting them weighed and so on. And then it goes into the machine. And we have no idea what happens once those ballots are scanned into the machine. They go onto the V drives. Where are the records that show what those batches are made up of? How many of those ballots are on each batch and so on? So these are holes in our system that need to be addressed because we cannot verify. We're made to say trust, but how can we do that? We need to trust but verify. And so I really think that this whole system is a waste of time and energy, money, taxpayer money, when we could go back to precinct voting and have it just be super simple. Everyone can watch paper ballots. And on top of that, we don't need a change in our statute to do that because the language says may. Thank you.
So yes, so everything she said was right on the money. I want to go to three more, but one of them is going to be a Hawaiian. And I was really, really happy to see locals, who live here, native Hawaiians on here. And let's see here, 301. All right. I think that's it.
On August 8th. And I would like it to be made known that voter identification was not being asked for, even when voters would extend their ID to the clerks behind the computers. They were told, at least by one person I overheard say, no need, go vote. And I asked the Maui County Clerk, Moana Luti, if she was checking for ID for illegal immigrants, since my ID had been asked when I voted. She said, no, it's not necessary. I said, well, how will you know if they're illegal immigrants or US citizens? I said, I think it's law that you should ask for it. She says, it's not a law. And here's my suggestions to you, Deborah, go research it. I'm an attorney, did you know that? I said, yeah. So since you know the law, why don't you just tell me? Her professional response was, nope, and I'm going to have you kicked out for interference if you keep interfering. Now, you should know there were no voters in the room at this time, just her staff and us volunteers. She also restricted me from recording the names of voters. As you guys know, I have the authority to ask for under HRS 11-77. She restricted that from me, again threatened to kick me out if I didn't do my job. And when I referenced the statutes, she stood up and said, I don't care about the statutes. I'm going to have you kicked out. Go sit down. The other thing I would like to make, let me say this. As a voter, I want the security of knowing that voter ID is being verified. I want that verification. And then also I was an observer in the county room, and I was overseeing, or not overseeing, but observing the duplication process. On my shift, a lot of online military ballots came in from Canada, from the US states, from Europe, from the islands, and all of them were identical.
She said all of them
Everyone
were
from all those
identical.
places all voted exactly the same. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I want this known.
She said all of them voted exactly the same, and they are all all of these military votes that came from all over the world were exactly this, voted exactly the same.
Because I think there's a problem here. And I also want it known that at the Civic Center, the closest parking stalls were blocked off from residents from coming in. They had to go park up the hill and walk down when it really wasn't that necessary. So,
and then also parking was an issue there. They weren't allowing people to park near the Civic Center. So there's two more. That was a big one. 30513, I think it might be after her, 305. Let's see here. So this is again, can Hawaii have fair elections?
Hello, this is Cece.
Hi.
Okay, I'm submitting testimony for agenda item 8, primary elections, metric election results. I'm taking my information from the statewide summer report dated August 11th of 24 at 7:15 a.m. I direct your attention to the political parties listed showing count irregularities. No label is listed as a party with 1,975 mail-in and 50 in-person votes, totaling 2,025 votes. Yet there is no person on the whole ballot that was listed as representing that party. Secondly, there was no one listed as representing the Solidarity Party, but the mail-in votes were 79 and in-person votes for 8, for a total count of 87 votes. No one was listed for the Socialism and Libertarian Party, but 84 mail-in and 6 in-person votes for a total of 90 votes were counted. That's 2,202 ghost votes. So to keep this brief, there were 4 other parties: the Green Party, We the People, Nonpartisan, and Libertarian Party. They had candidates on the ballot, and their actual vote counts listed in the 3-column reports were recorded. And on the last printout for the statewide results, they reported those votes more than were actually listed on the 3-column report. So these seem to be technical machine errors, and having worked at the elections before, I assume that zero reports are not being performed and recorded on all the voting equipment each election day. So I have witnessed Hart InterCivic strictly handling the county equipment only. I highly recommend a forensic audit of all vote county equipment and tabulators before any ballot gets counted in this year's general election.
So I want to show you guys what company runs the election, the ballots, and that is 5740. Let's see if I can get that.
It's okay.
There.
I just wanted to say my name is pronounced Signey.
Sorry.
Just for the record, yeah. Okay, no problem. Chair and members of the Election Commission, I respectfully submit this testimony regarding an observation on August 10th, 2024. I observed the pickup of ballots by the Signature Verification Center. I was with Amy, another voter observer. We arrived at the post office at 6:40 p.m. I believe the person from the Signature Verification Center, whose name is either Jacob or Josh, and I'm not sure, was picking up the ballots from the post office. He said they were picking up the ballots at 6:30, but he was giving another 15 minutes to 6:45 to pick up ballots that were mailed in. He stated they, the voters, had 3 weeks to get their votes in. Therefore, picking the ballots up at 6:45 was enough time. In reading the election law, it states that the county was to close the ballot boxes at 7 p.m., as did all the drop boxes were to be closed as of 7 p.m. My question is, how did the clerk decide what time ballots were to be picked up at 6:30 and decided to give another 15 minutes arbitrarily? I submit my testimony.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
So that wasn't the one I thought it was, but that was another good one on there because yeah, different things are happening. The last one I want to show you guys is there was somebody, and I can't remember which testimony it was. Maybe it's the one I'm going to show you right now. I think she says that all of the voting system is through Heart, a company that they've been paying for a long time. So one company that's doing all of our voting systems over here in Hawaii, which are very obviously questionable. This is a Hawaiian, which I was really grateful to see. And let's start her testimony at the beginning. Let's see, is this right? 30:26. All right, let's just start it here. Let's see what she says. Oh, sorry, that's my bad. Somehow I hit that. Let's try that again. 36. Okay.
Fukushima, who passed away in mid-July. God rest his soul, and condolences to his family. But his name was still on the ballot. I've been trying to research the law as to find out, because he had no opponent, how is it that a dead person, not any offense to him or his family, but how is it that a dead person still can obtain votes? That needs to be addressed. For whatever reason, because it will definitely happen again. A lot of our representatives are elderly. They are up in age, and anything can happen, even to a young candidate. I'm not trying to strategize against one specific age group. That's number one. That is very important that we address that. Secondly, I applaud the gentleman from Kauai, because I did some research on Texas, and yes, he is correct. They deleted over 1 million votes of people who were not supposed to be on that voter list. And that is what Hawaii needs to do. And let me show.
Texas deleted 1 million votes. That was another testimony of people that were not supposed to be on the registered list. And she's saying Hawaii needs to do that, which absolutely is true.
How simple this will be. After this primary election, what needs to happen, commission, is you folks need to clean out every voter that's on that list. And every time we come up to a general or a primary election, we need to re-register, verifying where we live, in what district, what precinct, with a valid ID and some type of utility bill, whatever it may be. American citizen, live in the district, and we are alive, and we have not moved to other places. As you all know, Hawaii is very expensive. People are falling on hard times. They're unable to afford their rent, their mortgages. People are moving left and right with a drop of a dime. So you want to figure out how to fix this, because in 2022, my brother had passed away, and he was living with me, and he still got a ballot mailed to my home, which I did not fill out. I destroyed, because he's not alive to vote. Imagine all the other people who are receiving these ballots at homes, and they want a certain candidate, so they're filling it out for their dead loved one. That is a problem. So the easiest solution would be scratch the computer system, get everybody to re-register. I don't think the people would have a problem with re-registering every time we have an election, because that also shows that there is a truth to who they are and where they live, and the district, the precinct, and everything else of where they're going to vote. So I wanted to just bring those two important factors up, and thank you very much.
So I just wanted to bring some attention to this issue. I mean, I know this issue is happening all over the country, but this isn't happening in Hawaii. There's the dictator that Mike, I think Curtis, wow, with the Hawaii Election Commission. That was a crazy video. I hadn't seen that before. That blew my mind. Dead people on the ballot still that people can vote for, just the numerous things that you just saw. So wherever you're living, also the thing is too, is I do I am good. Like I'm going to be interviewing a man named Cal Washington tomorrow with In Power Movement, which is the way that he has as strategies that we can take back our freedom in this country. We can take it back, you guys, but we don't understand different jurisdictions and the jurisdictions that they have over us. When when we really understand what is law, merchant, that actually helps to get us out of the corrupt system. So I'm going to be interviewing him tomorrow. Super excited about that. But right now, let's do a prayer, because the divine creator is really running the show, and our job, we have to participate. We have to participate. And participating is in your own life. What are you going to choose? Dark or light, evil or good? We get to choose. And that's what this game is. That's what this being on the planet in a human body is all about. It's choice. And if you think that you're just going to go on in your life and ignore all of this, that's a choice. You are choosing, and you're choosing darkness, because that's what's running the world right now. If you do not step up and take some action toward light, some action that tells the universe, infinite creator, I'm with you. I am no longer going to comply with the devil, with these evil beings, these dictators that are telling us what to do. I'm no longer going to comply. If you don't do something, you're with the evil dictators. You are saying yes to somebody telling you to shut up in a county, in an election commission's meeting. I mean, that right there should have got him kicked out for being so disrespectful to a person, a living man, giving his testimony. So if you think you can't comply, or if you think you don't have to do anything, you're very, very wrong. And I'd love to share with you some actions. You can go to standtogetherhawaii.com, standtogetherhawaii.com, and join that email list. The actions that I give you for the Hawaiian Islands, you can take and use in your own area. And that's something that we all should be doing, is taking some type of action to show the universe, to show the infinite creator that is beating our hearts and breathing our bodies, that we stand with the creator of this universe. We stand with love. We stand with knowing that we are powerful beings. That's where we stand. If you just do your life like normal, you're standing on the other side of the fence, and there's nobody that's going to come over and help you. You have to help yourself by taking some type of action. So join standtogetherhawaii.com. There's an action, and I am going to be giving some different actions. And I just do want to say mahalo to everybody who does the actions that I give out. I try to make them as simple as possible, preferably just an email or a phone call to somebody. And then again, you can use these actions in your own way. And yeah, let's just pray. Infinite creator, this is quite the game. And we know that we have choice. We get to choose. All living souls on the planet get to choose. And Great Spirit, infinite creator, we choose you. We choose the truth. We choose confidence. We choose standing in the light. We choose the knowingness that we are free beings under you, God, under you, Great Spirit, under you, infinite creator of the universe. We choose you, and we let the darkness go to the side, go to the wayside, because we know that you are the final judge, and through you, that's when things happen. Through you, these demons who do not value human life, who do not value freedom, we get to watch as they're removed from power. We get to watch as they voluntarily step down. We get to watch as freedom comes into this world, like a freedom that we've never experienced. And we call it forth now. We call forth courage for all people who are afraid. We call forth hope that this world can and is becoming a better place. And we give so much gratitude to all the guides and angels that always support us, that are always there for us. And all we have to do is ask, and we are asking right now, Great Spirit. We are asking right now. And we just know that this prayer is answered. It's already answered. These Hawaii elected officials who do not support and value freedom and people's right to vote are being removed from power. They're being removed because we call it forth now. We call it forth now, Great Spirit. And we know that the consciousness of Jesus Christ, we know that that consciousness of unconditional love is always around us and always supporting us and always with us every single moment of every single day. We know that that is done, and so it is. All right, sending you all much aloha from the Big Island, and no matter where you are at, take a stand. Let your officials know you see them, and they can no longer do evil, because it is up to us to take a stand. We are the white hats, everyone. We are the white hats. You are a white hat. All right, much love.